Senate Bill 721 relating to youth athletic team safety.
Question now rises upon third reading and final passage of Senate Bill 721B. Representative Keny-Guyer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, we are really blessed with the next generation here, from Alissa, who shares the name with me, to Ellie, and then to Jenna, who's up in the gallery with her family. Senate Bill 721B refers to concussions in club sports. In 2009, Senate Bill 348 was enacted. Known as Max's Law, the bill was named after Max Conrad, who at age 17 sustained a concussion as a high school quarterback, but was then started in the next game without medical confirmation that the first concussion had cleared. He collapsed at halftime due to massive bleeding in his brain, although no further hit was sustained. Multiple brain injuries saved his life, but his dreams of playing college football or even attending college were crushed. He now lives in a group home for individuals with brain injuries here in Salem. Max's law dealt with concussions and other traumatic brain injuries in public school sports, requiring coaches to receive annual concussion training and requiring athletes who sustain concussions to be cleared by a medical professional before they can return to play. These measures help to protect athletes from second impact syndrome, a condition in which the brain swells rapidly and catastrophically after a person suffers a second concussion before symptoms of an earlier one have subsided. With Max's Law, Oregon became a national leader in concussion education and proper management, and the law has helped to protect countless student athletes from suffering fates similar to Max's. Senate Bill 721B builds on the success of Max's Law and expands its educational and instructional requirements to club and recreational sports. Senate Bill 721B is motivated by the story of Jenna Sneva, a competitive soccer player, softball player, and ski racer, national champion from Bend. She sustained her first concussion at age 8 and suffered at least 10 concussions over her athletic career. Given that she skied for club teams, she was not protected by Max's Law, and her coach was not educated on concussion recognition or proper concussion management. She never took the time to recover after her concussions and was skiing and competing with these injuries. Because of the permanent brain injury she now is sustaining, Jenna can no longer participate in competitive sports and lives in fear that any further fall or accident could paralyze her or even take her life. She has worked hard with tremendous support to study at OSU, but struggles academically and with everyday tasks. Still in her 20s, she feels as if she has, quote, the brain of a 60-year-old stroke victim. Despite her day-to-day struggles, Jenna has made it her mission to educate others about the dangers of concussions and to prevent other children from suffering from post-concussion syndrome and long-term brain injury. The science of concussion diagnosis and treatment has made great advances in the past 15 years. There has been a culture change at all levels of sports. In the past, quote, getting your bell rung was considered a rite of passage, and concussions were something to play through. Today, teammates are much less likely to help a player conceal symptoms of concussion, and coaches and parents who are educated about the dangers of concussion are forcing athletes to sit out after an injury rather than encouraging them to go back in and play. But this change has required significant education and partnerships between sports teams and medical professionals. Because of Max's Law, public school coaches in Oregon are among the best educated coaches in the nation about concussion symptoms and treatment. However, as we have learned from stories such as Jenna's, youth playing club sports and their coaches are currently not getting the same education and protections. Senate Bill 721B extends the same educational programs and trainings to club sports, like skiing, lacrosse, soccer, and many others, some of which are not available except where they are organized at the club level. It requires coaches and referees, parents and legal guardians, and children over the age of 12 participating in club sports to undergo annual concussion training. Evidence-based, effective training modules are widely available free of charge on the internet, and recreational leagues will not be required to develop any new materials to fulfill this requirement. The bill also requires that athletes who sustain a concussion during practice or play be removed from the game and not allowed to return to play until they no longer exhibit the signs, symptoms, or behaviors of a concussion, and they are cleared by a health professional. Amendments adopted by the House Health Committee provide immunity from civil or criminal liability for regular coaches or referees who comply with the law, with the exception of cases of gross negligence or willful or wanton misconduct. It also exempts those who don't regularly serve as coaches or referees, such as volunteers who step in from time to time as needed. This bill passed the Senate floor 23-2 with 5 excused, and then with the amendments, it passed our House Healthcare Committee unanimously. This bill fosters a sports community where the potential severity of concussions are recognized and children are protected from further harm. In honor of Max, Jenna, my kids who have suffered concussions, and the many kids I have seen in my years of sideline cheering at club sports, I urge your aye vote.
Thank you, Representative. For